PCOR 503 students. Welcome to PCOR 503 Public Health and Health Systems. This is Dr. Lori, and I would like to officially welcome you to the class, and I look forward to a wonderful quarter with you. As we're starting, I'd like to do a quick tour of Canvas. I always say quick and then it ends up being a little longer than I expected. But I'd like to show you some of the things that may be helpful to you as we go through the quarter, and then we will have a chance to engage with all of these over the next 10 weeks. So first of all, as you open Canvas and get to the home page, you have what's called the home menu, and that's over here on the left hand side. This is for the class, for the specific class menu, and it starts with the home button at the top. And on the home page each week we will be putting all of the information that you need for that particular week. So here is the week 1 information, and I usually give you some information right up front if there are any special events that are happening, and then also any of the kinds of activities that you'll be completing or any of the landing pages that you'll need to go to. So this is your shortcut menu. This is a quick navigation to get to those things for that specific week, and I'll show you several other locations where you can get that same information, and it's just packaged a little bit differently. The other important piece of this home page is the calendar. And so there's a calendar for the online group and a calendar for the hybrid group. They're set up a little bit differently, so they have the same exact assignments, but they're just packaged and spread out a little bit differently from each other. And also, if you have any questions for the course, there is a link here right on the home page where you can ask the instructor a question. We'd love to hear from you. So if you have questions that pertain to a particular topic, or you have questions about an assignment, then please ask them and we would like to answer them. The next link on the course menu is announcements, and we'll post anything here that's important for you. For example, here's the information for the welcome potluck. If we make any changes to the class, we'll be sure to notify you here. So be sure and in your account information, set up those notifications so that you'll receive the announcements in the way that you would like to. I would suggest no less than once a day. The next link is for the syllabus. This is the place for a lot of information about the class. It includes information about your instructors. It includes information about what is expected. There are a few things that have changed if you were a student in previous quarters, and what I've tried to do is highlight those things in yellow so that they stand out. If you feel like you know a lot of the other information, then that will automatically sort of be the same from one quarter to the next. But there are some things in here that you'll want to review that maybe are different than what you're used to, so that you can be sure you're up to speed. That way, as you go through the course, you won't be caught off guard by anything. It's probably still a good idea to look through that information at least once and remind yourself of that information, but a lot of it just stays the same from quarter to quarter. One of the other places that you can get information about all of the assignments is right here at the bottom of the syllabus, and this is sort of a day-by-day listing. And so where previously we saw information on the home page that was just for that 1 week, this information is for the whole entire quarter, and it gives it to you in order that it's due. So if you're wondering about a specific date or a specific assignment when those things will be due, you can see exactly where those things are going to fall in the calendar for you. So that's the syllabus. Next is modules, and this is another place where you can see a really nice overview of the whole entire quarter. Also, there's information here that I think will be very helpful for you. that is under this first section called Instructional Team Policies and Resources. So please go through this. You'll see that they're all indicated that we'd like for you to view them. Even if you just view them fairly quickly, you'll know where to find information later if you have questions. So for example, if you have questions about technology, you'll see the kinds of information that are found on that page, and so then if you had a question later, you would know that it exists there. Once you've viewed all of these different pages, if you have questions, please let us know and we'll be sure to answer those. But you can click this little arrow that's to the left of Instructional Team, and what that does is it closes that down so that you don't have to look at it for the rest of the quarter. You know it's in there, it's all safe and sound, and then you just click the arrow if you want to open it back up again. But that way you can scroll easier to the location that you're trying to go. The next thing during the first week of the quarter is that we'll have this welcome and orientation sequence. And so you'll be doing a variety of very short activities that don't take very long, hopefully getting you really primed to be very successful in the course. And so the first activities, you can start these right away. The IRAT syllabus quiz will be happening on Monday. The team assignments will be available starting on Tuesday, March 28th. And so by Tuesday morning, we'll be putting you into teams, and then you can proceed with the different team assignments for that week. So these are all really just to get you accustomed to the class, able to navigate and be successful with the kinds of assignments and quizzes that we will be having. So once you get done with that, again, just go ahead and close that down. Then you don't have to be focused on that. The remainder of the course is broken into 4 modules. And for each of those modules, you can see the topics that are related to that, as well as the dates that those modules will be available to you. So for example, Module 1 is going to be the first one, and it has 4 topics in it. For those of you returning, that is a little bit different, and so we're breaking the quarter into 4 main groups of 2 weeks each. And so there will be 4 topics for this first module. After you've studied those, then you'll have your IRAT quiz and TRAT quiz, and then there will be 2 main team assignments, each one covering 2 topics. And you'll see that repeat itself for modules 2 and 3 and 4, and you'll see a variety of other things that are sort of included, different teamwork assignments, course evaluations. We've tried to include everything here under modules so that if you were to complete everything here, then you would know for sure that you had finished everything that you needed to do. We've even attached links to sites that we felt might be helpful for you at that particular time so that you could find them easily. So our goal is just to make this easier for you. So that's under modules. Grades is the gradebook, and you're familiar with how the gradebook looks if you've taken a Canvas course before. Your gradebook will look much more similar to what's called the test student gradebook. So I can see a sample version of it. And so here's the Meet the PCOR team, the Lockdown Browser Practice Quiz, all of the things, and you can see if you've submitted those and if they've been graded at what your score is on each of those assignments. At the very bottom of that, you'll see the individual quiz, team assignment, reflection, and helping behavior. And that will give you an overall dashboard that you have completed for the quarter, what your scores are so far. So that's the gradebook. Under people, you have 2 different things that you can look at. You can search everybody in the course, and you can look at them by teacher. You can find only the TAs. You can look for other students that you're taking the course with. And then also you can look under teams. And I'd like to spend a little bit of time on the teams here. First of all, we create teams of 4 to 6 people, roughly, and you'll be working with those teammates for the remainder of the quarter. If you go next to the team that is your team, over here on the right hand side with the little gear, and click on Visit Group Home Page, then you can see all of the things that are related specifically to your team. Interestingly, you can create your own home page. You can't create things in the main Canvas course, but when you're in the team, you are like one of the instructors. So you can send each other announcements, you can create pages, you can look at the people that are in that team. This discussions is where you will be having your team quizzes. So you can see all the team quizzes that are happening, as well as the individual application activities that you'll be submitting for each other to look at. You can create files and upload them here. And conferences isn't something that we use. I believe it's similar to Zoom, so if you wanted to try that out, that would be fine. But collaborations is one of the areas within your team homepage that you will be using quite a bit. And so what we're asking so that we can effectively collaborate with you and interact with you as we go through the quarter is that you click on the collaborations that are here and complete those activities for the different assignments. This is all the collaborations for this quarter. So there are 8 of them, C1 through C8, plus a getting to know you and a team contract that will happen earlier in week 1. So go ahead and use those collaborations so that we're able to also collaborate with you and provide comments as you're going through those activities, much like it would be if we were to be able to come and listen in on your conversation in a live class. So let's go ahead and go back to the main course shell. So that was people. That's the course menu. So within a specific course, that's what you see. But you can go over here to the global menu on the left-hand side. And there are some other things in Canvas that are important to take a look at there. Down here at the bottom is something that expands or shrinks this global menu over here on the left. So if you're like me and you want those to all fit on your screen, you can minimize those. It takes the words away, but the little icons are the same. So here you have your account, your dashboard, your courses, your groups, your calendar, your inbox, and so forth. So let's look at those really quickly. Under your account, under notifications, you can actually set up how you would like notifications to be sent to you for each of these different kinds of things. You can say never send them to me, or send them to me just once in a while, send them to me daily or right away. So that way you are really in control of how fast you want things to be coming to you. So I would suggest setting up the announcements to come to you at least daily, if not right away. You can also upload files to your account and change the settings and that kind of thing. The dashboard is usually where you land when you first enter Canvas, and so that is a summary of everything that has happened since the last time you've signed in. And so maybe there are going to be announcements. Here's save the date for the PCOR Welcome Back Potluck. You can expand that and shrink it. If you expand it and you're like, okay, I know that announcement, so I'm going to go ahead and delete it. Then you can see all of the things that are waiting for you in Canvas, and this is for all of your classes. Over here on the right hand side, you'll also see your assignments that are coming up, things that you need to complete. And so this is another place that you can see a list of all of the assignments in addition to the other places that I've shown you. Under courses, you can look at all of the different courses that you're in and select one if you need to go specifically to that course. Within groups, what you'll see is a list of groups. Once you're in a group, you should be able to see that particular group and go directly to that group homepage from here as well, so you don't have to go through the class through people. One of the I think underused features of Canvas, I've seen students, and when I show them this, they're like, wow, I had no idea that I could do that, is the calendar. The calendar also includes everything for all of your classes, and over here on the right hand side, what you can do is you can highlight the ones that you want to see with a specific color. And so you can say, well, I'd like that particular class to be green, and then anything for that particular item will show up here on your calendar if it's a class or that kind of thing. And that you can make them be different colors so that your the different classes show up in a different color and you can tell them apart. So this way you can you can click on items and you can go directly to that particular item on a specific date. So if you're a calendar person like I am, this is a really great view. Also, occasionally I'll send out an invitation through the scheduler for people who are interested in meeting with me about different things. And so you can sign up for your own time, you can look at your calendar and then just pick one of the times that's available. So that's the calendar, and it can really be very helpful so you can see exactly what's due on what day and plan out what you want to do. And then finally, over here on the global menu is the inbox. And that is, I don't have any messages right now because I just archived all of them. But you would see if somebody sent you an email within Canvas, you would see a message over here on the left-hand side, and you could click on it, and then you would see what the message said, and you could reply, you can compose a new message, you can do all kinds of things here. If you want to learn how to archive your mail, I'm happy to show you that. I don't have any to archive right now, but that is a quick view of Canvas and the different kinds of things we'll be focusing on for this quarter. I would like to show you right as we're finishing up the calendar for PCOR 503. This is different for online and hybrid, so make sure that you download the correct one. But this highlights some of the things that I pointed out about our class. First of all, I'd like to point out that we only have 4 quizzes for this particular quarter. They are every other Monday. So the IRAT 1 is on April 3, IRAT 2 is on April 17, and we're skipping Mondays here. IRAT 3 is on May 1st, and IRAT 4 is on May 15. So those are our 4 IRAT quizzes. They are followed in that same exact week by the TRAT quiz that's due on Wednesday evening, but then for a whole week in between you can really focus on learning the new topics, the new information. So you learn the new information, submit your individual activity and take the individual and team quizzes, and then the following Sunday is when you have 2 of these team assignments that you will have been working on. So they're a little bit more lumped together, and hopefully what we're hoping with this is that you'll see a little bit more of the connections between the topics that we're learning in public health. We're learning a lot of different kinds of things in 5 different main areas and 7 different cross-cutting areas, and so sometimes it's hard to see how different things are connected, but this will hopefully help you to kind of form more of those structural bonds between the different topics. Also on Wednesdays you'll see that there are a variety of different things. The TRAT quizzes are due on Wednesday night, but then also there are some of these other kinds of assignments that are due on Wednesday night, so we're keeping all of the assignments on Wednesday so that it doesn't seem too scattered. So here you have a journal assignment, here you have a content evaluation, here's another journal assignment, and then so on. So all of your the same kinds of assignments are consistent throughout the quarter, so that they're consistently on a Monday. The IRATs are consistently on a Wednesday, and so forth. The other thing that I've put on here that's really, really helpful to us, so be thinking about this as we go through the quarter, is the mid-quarter evaluation and the end-of-term evaluation. When we receive these evaluations, we look very closely at especially the comments, but then also sort of the general overall feel of the evaluation so that we can make changes to the class, and we definitely make changes based on these evaluations. So please complete them. We really appreciate the time that you take to do those. And so that's kind of like the cap, the icing on the cake. That really helps us as we're developing the course to know what kinds of things to focus on in terms of improvement. So take a look at the calendar. That you can find that on your we'll go back to the home page. That's right here. Under quick navigation, find the calendar that pertains to you. I always tell people, print off a copy and stick it to your refrigerator, and students have told me they do that because it's hard to lose your refrigerator. You could also stick it to a cabinet or a closet door. It's hard to misplace your closet. So make sure you have a calendar and so you can kind of see the overall view of the quarter as we're going through it, and just think of it in these 2-week chunks. And if you have questions about that, please call or please ask us. Please send a ask the instructor or send me an email within Canvas, and I would be very happy to help you. So welcome again to PCOR 503.